Alright, I'm back. I'm back for another one. Back for another round. It's July 3rd. I'm on my lunch break. This video, I don't know when it'll be uploaded. Probably not till like July 7th, 8th. Maybe a little later than that. I'm sitting here, I'm having my chitty McDonald's coffee. Nice self-censor there, pretty clean. McDonald's coffee freaking sucks. McDonald's in general sucks. This was just... Unfortunately, this was like my only option for today. Normally, I'd go back to my apartment and make something, have something to eat. Or like take something with me or something like that. It just didn't work out for the day, so... I'm sitting here. I had my dog chicken food. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just feeling like talking. I'm kind of... Coffee, the caffeine's getting to me a little bit. I ain't had caffeine super recently, so I'm still, I'm a little more sensitive to it than normal. I try to do that, like do like a coffee fast, because I don't want to, like just be addicted to it, and then it's like if I don't have any, like, like I wake up and I'm just dead until I have caffeine. That's some bullshit, I ain't trying to live like that. But I love coffee and I love the way it tastes, I like to have some, so I just, couple days on, couple days off, that kind of thing. I highly recommend good, controlled usage of caffeine is important. Anyways, I don't know what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about, I think talk about, people around you and stuff, that kind of thing. I think that'll be a good conversation. Alright, man. I'm parked in the damn church. Of course, these bastards. Looking around, trying to figure out who's here. Let me see. I'm just going to pick my phone up real quick and pull it closer so it looks like I'm, actually doing something. And then I'll lay it back down. Yeah. Get on, Unc. Get on, Unc. That's all I'm saying. Alright, there we go. Maybe I'll drive around, actually. I'll drive while I talk, because I'm only like 5 minutes away from work. Let's go, y'all. We going for a ride. Anyways, like, when it comes to, like, friends and the people you spend time with, friends, loved ones, that kind of shit, like, you gotta be careful about who you're around. Because, and like, you know this, everybody's had dog and friends at some point, somebody who just sucks, somebody who's always, dragging you down and disguising it as trying to bring you up, that kind of thing. And you gotta just watch out. But that isn't what I want to talk about entirely, but that's like a major thing I've been thinking about in relation to like sensationalism and the way people talk about, oh, this thing, you have to do this and that, or you should never do this or that or whatever, like trying to, and like demonizing or like putting up on a pedestal one thing or the other, like everything's just an option, and it's important to recognize that, like you gotta be okay, like you don't have to do this, some people will be like, oh, college, that, man, you gotta go to college or you're gonna be screwed. That's not true. You do not have to go to college. And on the flip side, people be like, man, fuck college, man, that's some bullshit, you just racking up student debt. Not true. I mean, it can be true, but both of those things are just not necessarily true. It just depends on how you do it, right? It just depends on whether it's right for you and what your plan is. Like for me, going to freaking school, going to college after I graduated, probably one of the best decisions I ever made for me in terms of just what it benefited me, but it also cost me a lot, and it's fucked me up a lot, in terms of mental relationships, that kind of, but the level of education and experience it's brought me has made it worth it, despite all my fuck-ups and my like maybe I guess suffering, if that's what you want to call it. Just depends on how you want to look at it, But, you know, like, for some other people, you know, maybe they show up and then they figure out, oh, I don't with all this, you know, you don't like whatever you're doing. It was still valuable because now you know, but you did kind of just, now you got to, you know, pay that back. Or maybe you knew you weren't going to like it and you just went because people told you to. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. Don't let these people sensationalizing it, you know, one way or the other, saying, oh, it's evil or, oh, it's amazing. Don't let them get to you, you know? Don't let them get to you. That's what I'm saying. Same thing goes for, you know, I mean, like, I guess just peer pressure and, like, you know, doing, like, drugs, alcohol, all that kind of crap. I mean, there are definitely drugs that are just objectively bad for you. Don't let people tell you. This is, like a one-sided thing. Like, most drugs are objectively just bad for you. Don't let people tell you that they're okay or that they're going to help you at all. And definitely don't trust something that somebody random gives you. I ain't trying to, you know, overdose on that fent. Especially if you're in a state where it's legal, that's different. Like if you're like smoking weed or something, you know, and it's like legal there, that's different because there's like, you can just get it legally and it's like fine, you know. But like if you're like where I live, you know, where it's illegal, where you can't have it, and you like buying it off of the local dealer, bro, you're about to have some fent in your system. You're about to be screwed. So, you know, don't fuck around like that. That just ain't worth it. Or like alcohol, you know, people demonize alcohol, and people will talk it up like it's the best thing in the world. It's neither, really. Like, it's just fine, you know. It's fine if you're around the right people. It's good, but if you're around the wrong ones, or if you are prone to, you know, getting drunk, you know, like fucked up out of your mind, can't, you know, black out, that kind of horrible idea, you know. It's all relative. It's not like one way or the other, and other people's claims on it are not necessarily right. You got to figure out for yourself, you know. Don't let the way other people, you know, talk up or talk down on something make a decision for you. Don't let I keep using that word, like sensationalism, and it's just because it's such a prevalent thing in our society, you know, from like individuals talking to each other, and even in like, you know, the social media aspect too, you know. It's just like everywhere, like the news and the you know, people on the gram or the Twitter, you know, whatever, they will just say some of the most unhinged ever, and there's just no reason to believe it, or you're just going to fall into the same trap and be screwed. And I'll even give you a silly example. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. At this point, I think by the time this is up, maybe not, maybe it'll be before, but like at this point in time that I'm recording, they revealed what the celebration is about and the characters, and so it's like a switching unit, Goku and Vegeta, and a Goku Black and Zamasu that switch with each other freely, basically. But they don't, and they have a fusion skill, but they don't fuse for the battle. They just fuse for, like, an attack and then defuse. And people are like, oh, this is the worst thing ever, this is bullshit. But we don't know. We ain't even seen the full animations, you know, ain't seen the abilities they have, you know, that kind of thing. And like that, yeah, this is a silly example, but it's like these people, they spend their life hating on this game or worshiping this game. And it's like, it's just a game, you know? Just let everybody who wants to do what they want do, man, you know? Like, if you like, I don't know. It's just, like, people will, you know, they'll dedicate their life to loving or hating something for just cause. Yeah. And, like, when it comes to relationships, it's the same thing, you know. People sensationalize, be like, oh, you know, people, you know, you either have the what are they called? The chuds? Is that it? Chud. That word's so funny. The black pill dudes are like, oh, women are evil. The incels. I guess chud is, I don't know what a fucking chud is, dude. I think it's a funny word. And I think it's funny that there's somebody out there in the world that unironically uses that term. But I don't know, man. It's like, you know, these like woman haters or I mean, even if you're gay, like these, I don't know if they're gay incels, you know, like homosexual incels. It's like, who cares? Who freaking cares? Just, no, we ain't like you. We don't hate women, man. Stop. Just chill, okay? You know, we can do our own, you can go do your own thing, you know, but don't let people tell you have to be that either, you know. Don't let people tell you, oh, like, you need a woman, or, I mean, if you're gay, you're a gay man, you know, oh, you need a man, or, you know, if you're, I guess, you know, I'll be real inclusive here. If you're a gay woman, you're like, oh, you need a woman, like, you know, some Chapel Roan, you know, or, you know, you're like, you don't, you know, fall into them categories, and it's like, oh, you need a partner, I guess, that's the neutral term, you know, that kind of crap. It's just not true. You don't, and a lot of times, if you're looking for it just to have it, it's gonna suck. It's just gonna freaking suck. And yeah, it's just gonna suck. And then, yeah, I mean, what's the last thing? See, the most interesting thing to me, and this is about to get a little personal, but I think this is super interesting, because it's like, it's how our brains work, you know. And it's like, when you're like messing around, when you're fucking with somebody, you know, like fucking around, like laid up, like, you know, laying up with them, that kind of thing. You know, I'm not one to come out and say that kind of thing directly, you know. It's considered indecent, you know. But if you're like doing that, you know, people, like, you'll have people who say, like, oh, it's the best thing ever. You'll have people who say it's like mid, you know, like it's like just whatever, like it's not as amazing as it makes it out to be. Cap. Both of those are freaking cap. Both of those at the same time are cap. And that don't make sense, but I'm about to explain. And it's going to be real concise. Not really, because I ramble like hell, you know, for lack of a better word. But, like, if you're fucking around with some, like, random people, you know, like just random hoes, you know, these scuzzies. Scuzzy is in gender inclusive, you know, male or female scuzzy. If you're fucking around with these scuzzies, it's mid. It's super mid, dude. It's like, I mean, it ain't even worth it. But people be, oh, it's always mid. Like, it's like, you know, it's not even all that. And it's like, okay, so stop capping. Only true if you're just fucking around just to do it, you know. Then it's never going to be satisfying. It's never going to be. And then you get stuck in the loop of it's never enough, you know. And then you just get in this trap where you're, you know, messing around with random people. Or if you're like a, you know, if you're a basement dweller, you're just wanking it all day, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing, you know? And it's bad for you. It's bad for you to be fucking around. It's bad for you to be doing that all day, you know, because you're just picking up your mental, and you're getting in this cycle, because you're never satisfied. It's because you don't have a bond with the person. That's the thing that matters. You don't have a deep, intimate bond with the person. Because I'll tell you what, when you have a deep, intimate bond, when you care and love for this person, and don't just want to come, it's, I mean, I don't, like, you have to experience it. It's like otherworldly. It's like it's like the highest form of, or one of the highest forms of affection, honestly, in my opinion, if you're, you know, connected to that person in that way. But if you're just using it as like a, you know, oh, I'm just, you know, fucking around trying to, you know, fill a hole in your life, not pause, my bad, that was kind of funny. Then it's just, you're gonna get stuck, and you're not doing anything productive. It's not helping you at all. This coffee's dog shit, bro, I swear. But when you know, have one person in your life, and you've been with him, and you know everything about him, and you love him, and you care for him, it's amazing. And I'm not just speaking out my arse, my hole, you know, I'm not just speaking out my air. I'm speaking from experience, and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud to be speaking from the mid side. I'm not proud to be speaking from the mid side, because, you know, that sucks. I'm not proud of that having ever been something that I've done ever, you know. But when it comes from that side, that's like amazing and, you know, important. All right, my cut out for some reason. Hold on, I might be too loud. I don't know. Here we go. I'll put it right here. My cut out, but I gotta, unfortunately, go to work now, so I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one, good day, good night, good evening, whatever. And I'll see you later, okay? Bye-bye.